Pity the fool that doesn't do well on this quiz. I pity the fool.
All right, the instructions say write these numbers in two different forms. This is what they give us. This is what they give us. One of the forms is obviously going to be expanded notation. We don't have to do the 0, but we're going to do 2 times what place value is the 2 in? The tenths. Plus 5 times what place value is the 5 in? 100ths. Plus 3 times what place value is the 3 in? The thousandths. Now instead, if you use 0.1, 0.01, 0.001 instead of the fractions, that's fine as well. Writing the numbers in word form. We start in front of the decimal point. We don't have anything there. I read the number just like it's written behind the decimal point. It says 253. So I write 253. $253, 253. Now it's behind the decimal point, so I have to write the last place value, which is the thousandths. Make sure you're ending with a THS. $253 thousandths. The THS tells us we're behind the decimal point. THS tells us we're behind the decimal point. Let's look at another one. We have 7 and 632 thousandths. Let's write it in expanded form. 7 is in the ones place, so we have 7 times 1. Plus 6 is in the tenths place, so 6 times 1/10. Plus 3 is in the hundredths place, so 3 times 100th. Plus the 2 is in the thousandths place, so 2 times 1,000th. That would be an expanded form using the decimals. Again, I could write a fraction 1/10, 1/100th, and 1/1000th, and it would be the same thing. Now, writing numbers. Ignore the decimal point and everything behind it. And what do I have? I have 7. So I write 7. That's my whole number, 7. I get to the decimal point and I write the word and. That tells me that there's where the decimal point is. It's behind 7. Now, I'm going to ignore everything there and just read the number as it is, 632. So I write 632. Now, after I've done that, I look at the last place value, which is the thousandths. So I write thousandths. Make sure I'm ending it in THS, or I have it wrong. All right. The average annual rainfall in meters. And then we have these states. California, 564 thousandths of a meter. New Mexico, 372 thousandths of a meter. New York, 1 and 41 thousandths of a meter. Wisconsin, 0 and 820 thousandths of a meter. What is the value of the digit 7 in New Mexico's average annual rainfall? Well, New Mexico is written like that. 0 and 372 thousandths. The value of the 7 is 7/100. You could write 7/100. Either one of those would be acceptable. If you wrote 7/100 or 7/100, either one would be acceptable. The average annual rainfall in Maine is 1 and 74 thousandths meters per year. Complete the table by writing that amount in standard form. Well, I have a whole number because it says 1 and. So 1 is my whole number. Decimal point and. I need to write the number 74, and it needs to go out to the thousandths. I have to put 74 there, otherwise it doesn't say 74. If I put 7 and 4, that would be 704. So I have to put the 74 like this. 1 and 74, the 4 is in the thousandths place. Emil says that the snow on the ground is 5 times 1/100th meters high. How can this number be expressed as a decimal? Well, 5 is going to be in the hundredths place. So I know the 5 is going to be here. But I can't just leave the tenths place empty. So I'm going to have, say, 5/100ths, because 5 times 100th would be 5/100ths of a meter high. In the number 5 and 923 thousandths, which number is in the thousandths place? Well, I have my ones, my tens, my hundredths, my thousandths. So 3 is in the thousandths place. Jack's baby sister crawled 3 and 5/10. 3 and 5/10. 3 is my whole number. My decimal point is 5/10. I know that because it ends in THS. Which number represents 3 and 5/10? That's 3 and 5/10. This one says 3 and 5/100ths. This one says 3 and 510 thousandths. And this one says 3 and 5 thousandths. Mountains over 3 miles high. Mountain and location, height in miles. Blackburn, Alaska, 3 and 104 thousandths. Bona, Alaska, 3 and 134 thousandths. Steele, Yukon, 3 and 152 thousandths. You're explaining. Let's first, when we're comparing and ordering, we write them down and we line up the place values. So explain, I would write them down lining up the place values. So I have the ones place, the tenths place, hundredths place, thousandths place. So that's step 1. Step 2, I start comparing from the biggest place value. In this number, the biggest place value is the ones. Are there any difference in the ones? The answer is no. Then I go to the next greatest place value, which is the tenths. Are there any difference in the tenths? The answer is no. Then I go to the next greatest place value, which is the hundredths. Is there any? No. Is there a difference? Yes. We're going from greatest to least. I have a 0, I have a 3, and I have a 5. Well, 5 is the greatest. So, and it says how to order the height of the mountains. Okay? So the one with the 5 is going to be Steele, Yukon. Yukon, sorry. Followed by 3.134, Bona, Alaska. Followed by Blackburn, Alaska. If you don't explain it, you get it wrong. So my explanation, write down the height in miles, lining up the place values. Start with the biggest place value, which is the ones place, no difference. Go to the tenths place, that's the next greatest place value, no difference. I go to the hundredths place. The hundredths place is the biggest place value that has a difference. So that's where I get this far, and once I get to the hundredths place, I can compare them from greatest to least. Make sure we're always looking at that.